Okay, guys, we continue in Rection video. It's about our friend's presentation in architecture. Okay, let's continue.
And he is here.
Get to the video.
I read to
And the
myself
person is
now.
us.
With us is
With us.
Okay.
the statement and the issue. This studio code creates the space that represents myself and inspired me to do something when I go into the studio code. It's linked to the issue that architecture students always go through. It is without suitable environment that related to architecture students themselves, they cannot generate the creative idea for their design. So the concept of my studio code is hidden chaos. Basically, hidden chaos means it's represent myself. It's two.
Wait. I will react to my own video. Okay, so first of all, uh, for me,
You guys
it's quite
is
hard
handsome.
to that. For me, it's quite hard to another student or another members to understand what my concept is and how it's related to my nakli and also to my issue, right? Because if we look at another video of our members, we can see straight the relate or the connection between the concept, the ideation, and also the issue, right? So I guess you guys maybe a little bit harder to understand the connection between my concept and my issue and also my nakli. So I don't know how you guys feel. Okay, let's go. Red,
But
continue.
wait. But when looking to the
Okay.
board, is first
Yeah.
thing that we can say that this board is colourful and it kind menarik untuk you want to know what the real
Yeah.
message DAWA want to say in his concept about his own feeling in the design. Okay, yeah. It's good. It's
Yeah.
good.
Okay.
From the first class macam cantiknya dia tu.
Hmm.
Dia layak.
So colourful.
Yeah. Okay. Jadi kita tengok.
This design studio part is totally different. At the outside, we will see the smart and map, but in the inside of the studio part, we will see the expression of feeling and emotion through art of the design. So, let's Quran Karim. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم يهدي به الله من اتبع رضوانه سبل السلام ويخرجهم من الظلمات إلى النور بإذنه ويهديهم إلى صراط مستقيم. Surah Al-Ma'idah, and guide those who seek His pleasure to the way of peace, bring them out of darkness into light by His will, and guide them to the straight path. What can I explain here from my Nakli study? Each person in this world will having their hard and easy situation to achieve their objective or to win success in this world. As a human, if we believe to Allah, Allah will guide us to the straight path. So to relate with my concept hidden chaos, the exterior and the interior of the individual design studio part is different, but the objective of creating the individual design studio part is same. The objective of this studio part is for education, it's for learning, it's for is architecture student problem, and so on. Next is I would like to share to you guys about the ideation for my design studio part. The first ideation that I inspired is contemporary art. In this huge world that have a lot category of art. So in contemporary art, I chose abstract art. The reason why I choose abstract art is when I look into the abstract art, it shows more expression of feeling and emotion they've been given by the artist. Such as we can see, when we look into the abstract art, we can see the variety of forms that been created by the artist, and we cannot understand if we not feel the same way like the artist feel. So it inspired me. That is something special, and I want to include that in my individual design studio part. The second ideation that I would like to share to you guys is man cave.
Wait. Okay. Ya, bila kita tengok video kita akan rasa apa yang kadang-kadang kurang kat diri kita, betul tak? So for me as the presenter, bila looking back at the video, I realised that my ideation presentation is, I think it's not macam nak cakap, maksudnya macam tak terang. Dia punya keterangan tu ada, tapi tak bagi macam mana nak kata, tak bagi orang lain tengok macam mana rupa sebenar ideation tu. Sebab yelah kan, just put the board and explain it, it's make pupil or another members tertanya-tanya apa sebenarnya rupa ideation ni, apa sebenarnya rupa contemporary art ni kan, apa sebenarnya rupa dia sebenarnya. So lacking, sorry for present like that. Okay, tak orang lain macam mana nak cakap. Aku tak kisah, korang nak komen lah.
No, you
boleh
like,
improvekan studio.
No, you look like a lecturer giving lectures.
Yeah.
Okay. What I can say is the explanation is not clear. For me it's hard to understand, but we can get what he wants to share is about he designed something that came out from art, the abstract, which means something like not have specific form and random structure, something like that. But yeah, maybe it can find a way to talk and to present more easy to people understanding. I think it's lacking there.
Yes, I agree with the lacking of the explanation, but I like the board because it was beautiful.
Let's continue. Let's continue.
Means it's a room for men as a place to relax and pursue their hobbies. It's more basically it's like the private room for a person. The person can do their own things that he like or that she likes, and nobody cannot disturb. So our hobbies or pursue the thing that we like. It give a space for us to generate the creative, innovative and amazing ideas for our design. As architecture student, we should try to discover, to develop the exciting and interesting idea or exciting and interesting design to show to our lecturers and to resident study. First, Mark Fon's Tavermony Situation Room. So this situation room located at New York City. Other than that, this situation room for art and also for architecture aspect. The thing that inspired me is the design of exterior and the interior of this situation room. When we go walk through the street, we will see the situation room from outside. The design of the wall is so simple, but you can see the amazing of the digital fabrication design by Mark Fons. Mark Fons get the idea, combine some sort of sphere shape. It's combined like 20 or 50 sphere shape to create the suitable form for the situation room. It can follow the rule of anthropometry and ergonomic of human body. And the next thing is this ceremony or this situation room provide an otherworldly experience for the visitor that come into the situation room. The next president study is Lisa Iwamoto digital fabrication. The thing that I inspired to see Lisa Iwamoto digital fabrication is how Lisa Iwamoto create the form based on what I will use the simple shapes like triangle, circle or square, and then he combined it together. And he creates the form that he wants for its design. So in this process, for me to make a model, I use his skill. I use Lisa Iwamoto's skill. I try to combine the circle shapes, 100 of circle shape. I combine it together and then I curve it to create the curved wall inside my individual design studio part. So the last president study that I would like to share to you guys is contemporary art, abstract art. So they have a lot of abstract art that we can see in the art gallery or contemporary art is for application of the color in my studio pot. How I apply the suitable color for my studio pot to create the environment, that can inspire me to generate an overwhelming idea. For the design process, it have two ways. I divide it into two. The first thing for the basic square, and then from the basic square that I create, I elaborate it into the little bit like the hexagon shapes, and then after that I curve some part of the shape for my ventilation, and also for the opening for my studio pot. The second thing is the design process of the for the interior. For the interior, I took part the chaos pattern from the Mark Franz Stevermany situation room, and then I simplified it by a combination of the sphere, and then I elaborate it by using the skill of Isaiah motor digital fabrication. I change it to the small circle and use the 100 couple of circle, combine it together, and then I curve it, I elaborate it to create the form that I want to my basic square plus hexagon shape. For the interior, I'll also follow the rule of anthropometry and ergonomic of human bodies. So from the outside, it's maybe look like taking so much space for the wall, but if we go enter the studio pot, we can see the circle shapes or the wall or the curve or the sphere shape in the studio pot. It have multifunction, and it's totally make the space of the studio pot more wide. So let's continue to the second
The
floor plan.
the transition for the continuing the video it's so it's masalah betul lah. So I tak expect lah tiba-tiba ada so bagi aku it's a little bit lacking in explanation lah bagi aku, sebab yalah bila kita macam kurang in understanding English language kan, maksudnya kita nak guna English tapi kita tak tahu perkataan yang nak diguna, dan aku try hard untuk explain kat korang kan. So macam maksudnya kena improve lagi banyak lah tentang explanation, aku rasa telak. So tak,
Betul.
aku rasa itu je lah. Kalau bab design, aku rasa design tu InsyaAllah okay bagi aku. Bagi aku
Sebab
sendiri lah. Tapi
about design is menarik lah. Design tu
tapi cara
the way presenting tu kurang, maybe hard to people understanding.
Tapi macam
Maybe for
quiet lengthy kan. For board one. Panjang sikit.
okay,
So-
tapi but for the second board, why is not colourful? Not same as the first board. It's very
it's cause this picture is taking before I color it, because the time we submit the board, right, at that time when lecturer take the mark of our board, So I just submit it in this white and black board. But when come to the architecture from the outside, you see come to the studio.
Portfolio day.
Before that, portfolio day. After the submit day, after the submit time, I take back my board and then I color it. So right now the board is color and also the board is also color and more nice. But yeah, ni silap sendiri bila kita buat board ni. So apa yang penting kat sini adalah sebenarnya it's no need to architecture board to be colourful, right? But when from the first board, it's colourful, and when goes to the second board, it's suddenly black and white, and then people will question it, right?
Dia
Just like
jadi
you
nampak
guys.
macam tak
Dia jadi macam nampak tak siap. Sebab yelah, aku tahu perasaan tu bila sebab orang dah nampak colourful tapi bila tiba-tiba board kedua, kenapa tak colourful kan? Tapi nak cakap itulah, nak cakap itulah maksudnya macam kena konsisten lah, kena sama je semua. The form tu kena sama lah.
If this board is colour is maybe help the people to understanding more for the first board about the perspective. You can see you have the use the colour of green, red. People can help more in understanding the space about this. Maybe that's the function lah.
Function dia.
So,
Okay.
Let's go.
the right elevation, the front elevation, the right elevation, and also the left elevation. As we can see, you guys can see the floor plan. In the floor plan, it shows where the drafting chair is located, and also where the drafting table located, and also the last thing is the sofa at the back of the studio board. So last but not least, this is the last of my presentation board. In this last presentation board, I present to you guys the section of my individual design studio board. The section X to X and section Y to Y. So from the first section, it shows the anthropometry of human sits in the drafting chair while doing the tasks like drawing something at the drafting table. So other than that, from the section also you can see the circle pattern of the wall. The circle pattern of the wall, not just the wall, but it has multifunction. It's being the storage for the studio board. We can arrange our tools or our architecture tools in the circle pattern of the walls. For the second section, you can see the anthropometry of human body when I sit at the sofa at the back of the studio board. I can sit over there and I can read, I can take a coffee, or I can so for the sofa part at the rear of the design studio board, it been the relaxing place for me after I'm tired doing my tasks or tired generate an idea and get some relax and peace over there. So at the bottom of this drawing, I show you the applying of color that I want in my studio board. The interior of my studio board will be colorful. I will apply some sort of color of red, some sort color of blue, green, white, yellow, and so on. But for the interior, I will use the white color for the interior because I want to show the simple at the outside but extravagant in the inside. And the last drawing that I applied into my last presentation board is the axonometric view. Axonometric view is where you guys can see the exactly shapes of the studio pod and how I get it into the studio pod. So the drafting table it's not just a drafting table. If after I done my work, I will flip the drafting table, and the drafting table be the wall of my studio pod. And under the drafting table have the some space or some bench to me lay down and to relax. So we end of the presentation board. Let's go check to the model making. The first shape here is the square simple shape. To create the form that I want, and inside have the form that I create, the curved form that I create from the circle shape. So this is the next picture. This is my mock-up model. This mock-up model is a little bit bigger. Is little bit bigger from the concept model. So this mock-up model is look exactly like the final model, but I not apply the color and the furniture so on. So as you guys can see, this final model I've done with apply the color, and you guys can see from the from outside. The outside the wall at the outside is it's what color? It's so simple. And but in the inside for the interior, I applied some sort of color like red, blue, yellow, and green to make the studio pod more attractive to other pupils. Apply some sort of furniture inside the studio pod like drafting table, chair, and also the sofa. Okay. So this is the end of my presentation. I hope you guys enjoy with my presentation, and I'll see you when I see you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay. Nice. Okay.
So far so good.
Aku cakap dulu lah, nanti korang komen lah kan. So bagi aku yang aku tengok balik my own video, sometimes we feel shy to look back at our own video, right, and see it together with our friends, studio members. But these things actually meaningful and also important for me to improve myself in the way of explanation, in the way of presentation, and also in the way of design something and applying color to the board. So bagi aku bagus sebab macam maksudnya bila kita tengok balik kita punya video tu, kita akan rasa kekurangan kita, dan apatah lagi ditambah dengan komen-komen members kan. So itulah dia berguna. It's not just a comment, but it's also the information that we need to improve ourselves. So from other person like friends, we can also improve ourselves. Okay, so that's from me. So what's about you guys? Korang komen buat komen je, aku terima sebab tak lah, bagi aku tengok memang kurang gila lah. Itulah sumpah cakap.
I think you lack eye contact. Tak tengok kamera, dia macam berkiling.
Dia macam mengelak kan?
So, for the for the picture, the drawing, I thought that the color would be like dark, so the inside of your studio pot will be like macam gelap je. But when I see your model, it was quite good. Yeah. And I kind of like it.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
In term of design kan, maybe you like it that way, but you know someone suffer from trypophobia, someone that
Yeah,
akan
yeah,
suffer
yeah. I
from
know.
it is
I
a
know.
bit
Sebab
triggering tau. Kalau drawing
yeah,
sekali
sebab
lagi betul masuk muka model tu macam meremang sikit.
sebab kadang-kadang ada orang ataupun yang macam fobia dengan tengok benda yang bulat-bulat kan, macam maksudnya yang lagi-lagi yang banyak tu lah kan. So ada orang jenis macam tu sekarang, ada orang jenis yang lain. So ni maksudnya bila kita design sesuatu lah, aku rasa apa yang aku perlu buat design tu kena dengan semua orang rasanya yang perlu kita lihat lah, bukan setakat diri sendiri tu lah. So lagi komen.
Pasal design tu macam aku suka lah sebab dia macam nampak lah macam konsep tu kan hidden chaos tu kan, sebab the outside it looks plain tapi bila it's not pasal bila masuk tu it's really colourful and nampak dia tak simple yang kau tengok daripada luar macam tu.
Yes.
Dia memang nampak lah kau punya konsep tu. And I really like it. Just that I'm nak explain tu je lah. Time resident study tu kan, I was waiting like do you want to
The
zoom
picture,
in on
right?
the picture something
Yeah.
But tapi bila memang like when you want to design, the design process tu macam tak nampak daripada mana ambil kat mana semua tu.
Yes.
Tapi the concept is really good lah.
Your video soundnya clear boleh dengar kan.
Okay.
Dia boleh video kita dengar. Yang ni
Boleh smooth lah.
Dengar suara lah, sound lah.
Hand gestures.
So
you look like a prof tau.
InsyaAllah one day. But apa yang aku realise bila tengok video sendiri ni lagi satu, it show yang aku ni masih lacking and lagi jauh, far away from nak jadi architecture yang profesional tu, sangat jauh lah. So architecture it's not about just drawing, it's about how we explain to people and through our design. So itulah bagi aku, ya, aku rasa bagus lah. Kalau korang nak komen lagi, komen je. Tapi bagus lah. Korang punya komen aku akan take note and also improve myself kan. So itulah. So ada apa-apa lagi? So tak ada. Kalau tak ada, that's all for our reaction video to our friends studio video presentation. So let's end it.